Hello everyone, and a huge welcome to today's session on activism. Let me start by thanking you for giving the time to join us today, and a huge thank you to the organisers of today's conference for creating such an impactful and inspiring agenda. My name's Mark. I'm the Head of Activism at the Z Zurich Foundation. The Z Zurich Foundation is a corporate foundation funded by Zurich Insurance, based here in Zurich in Switzerland, where I'm talking to you from today. But we work all around the world, and we work on three key topics. The first one is adapting to climate change. We want to help people become more resilient where they're already experiencing the impacts of the changing climate. The second is mental well-being. We want to give a focus on that resilience and prevention aspect again, and ultimately give people the confidence to give the same focus to their mental well-being as what they would do with their physical well-being. And the third one is social equity, giving people the same opportunities, equity of opportunity, and really lifting people up so they can fulfill their full potential. When I think about activism, if I think about my own role, people often say to me, it's about protesting in the streets, it's about chaos, it's about disruption. Activism to me is not that. It's a small part of what we do, but in reality, activism is about getting active. It's about identifying the causes and the topics that really resonate with your own personal values and investing in them, investing your time, your skills, your money, your voice, your platform that you have to make a difference to the communities that you care about. A lot of the stuff that we do is focused on young people. For us, young people is aged 18 to 35. And for us, it's really about investing in people that we can say will have a payback over many years. People say, why don't you care about older people? And I say, it's just not true. We believe that young people have the ability today to shape the world that they wish to live in, and that will be a world that they can benefit from for many years to come. One of the big criticisms I always hear about decision makers in today's world is that they are making decisions for the future when they're not going to be around, and it's very fair criticism. That's why I get very inspired when I see young people, young activists coming out and having an impact in today's world. Inspiration for me comes from all over the place, but if we think about the international stage, I think of people like Greta Thunberg, someone who's in a short amount of time had a huge impact in the climate change space. Or the politicians, globally the average age of politicians is falling. I was reading only the other day about a member of parliament in Scotland who's 20 years old, a full-time member of parliament at 20 years old, someone who can genuinely help make decisions that reflect the needs of the future generations. I find that super inspiring. When I think about the programs that we run in Africa, we work with two big organisations. The first is Junior Achievement and the second is One Young World. Junior Achievement for me represents a really interesting opportunity. It's about investing in young entrepreneurs, giving them the ability to identify needs in their communities and create a business that addresses those needs. I find it fascinating, the creativity that people use in that space, the needs that they identify and the solutions that they can then turn into a business idea. I'm very proud to support Junior Achievement in that space. The second one is One Young World, and every year we take a cohort of scholars to the One Young World conference, One Young World being the largest global gathering of young leaders. And we invest in them, we invest in their progress, we invest in their personal development, and we invest in their ideas and their causes and try to uplift them to make a difference. And every year, people from that cohort continue to inspire me with the amazing work that they're doing. One of the roles I think young people have is really holding people to account, and I think about governments in that space, I think about companies, but it really starts with your family and friends. And I think, when you think about the impact you can have as an activist, it really comes down to forming your arguments and making sure you can challenge people at all levels based on what you know and hold them to account for the decisions they make. Part of that is around diversity, and it's really important that when you go through that process, you take inspiration and knowledge from a wide range of voices. You shouldn't surround yourself by people that are just people that agree with you. You have to listen to the other side, you have to understand the other side, and you have to know what they're thinking in order to make a reasoned argument, in order to be able to really say, this is why I believe that. I thought I'd take a minute then to just give you a couple of tips on what I think it means to be a successful activist. So the first one for me is follow your passion. Only you can decide what you care about. That is going to be very different from the person standing next to you. It could be the same, but in reality, it's for you to shape what you're passionate about and for you to invest what you're comfortable with in those causes. And it kind of goes to the second point, which is give selflessly. Give what you can. I mentioned already time, skills, talent, money, platform, voice. You decide what resources are at your disposal and you give the amount that you're able to do, but do it selflessly. Take ego out of the equation, because that's the way that you'll genuinely have the impact that you want to have. The third piece is to really be aware of your strengths and your weaknesses, and to recognize that forging alliances, coming together with other people, can often be the way that you can have the most impact. You know, try and work out who has what you don't, how you can complement each other, find the people that can uplift each other as a group. You'll never have the success on your own. You always need to be aware of your weaknesses and to find people who can bridge those gaps. The fourth piece is what I mentioned earlier. Really embrace diversity. Listen in a really respectful way to the people that disagree with you. Hear what they're saying. Use what they're saying to build your own case for support. Because I think by doing that, we're going to create naturally a less divisive world. And we're also going to create a world where more people are in that centre space, where compromise is the norm, and where ultimately decisions get made easier and we can move forward quicker. Focus on where you can have the greatest impact. Don't try and be everything to everyone. I think it's a very natural thing to do, to try and be everything to everyone, but be aware of what you can achieve. Prioritize, work out where to focus all the resources you've identified such that you can create the most impact, and the impact at level that you're comfortable with. Take the low-hanging fruit, work on the longer solutions, but don't try and solve every problem all across the world immediately tomorrow. It's not going to happen. The final thing I'd say is really, or two things, is to say ask questions and use data. Make sure that you're forming your opinions, your arguments based on sound things. Question what you don't understand, learn throughout that process. And finally, never forget your worth. Never forget your place in this world. It's for you to scope out, it's for you to decide, but you have the power to create the change that you wish to have. So go out there, become an activist, and look forward to answering your questions at the end of this session. Thank you all very much.